Hello and welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep IAS. I welcome you all to today's daily quiz video. I hope all of you by now are already a part of our BYJU'S Exam Prep IAS Telegram channel. If you have still not joined the channel, please do click on the link given in the description of the video. You can join the channel and get all the latest current affairs updates about the UPSC examination. Now let's begin with question number 1. Consider the following statements. Number 1. So far, ISRO has only used PSLV, that is Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle, to carry out commercial launch. Second, India currently has three operational launch vehicles, the PSLV, the GSLV and the GSLV MkIII. Third, the government opened up the space sector for private players in 2020. Which of these given statements is or are correct? That's a tricky question to answer, especially because of the second statement. Many of you might think that India now also has a SSLV, that is the Small Satellite Launch Vehicle. However, as you would know, the SSLV mission that was launched by ISRO was not completely successful. And that is why even today, if you count the number of operational launch vehicles that ISRO has, it is still these three only. So first, second and third, all these three statements actually are correct, and the answer here is D. So far, ISRO has only used PSLV to carry out commercial launches. Commercial launches means when ISRO takes money from some other party and launches satellites on their behalf, be it some foreign nations or be it some private companies. The reason why we are discussing this question is because now ISRO is planning for the first time ever to launch a commercial satellite using the GSLV MkIII. The launch is set to happen on October 23rd, where 36 satellites will be launched. As you know, GSLV MkIII is so far ISRO's heaviest rocket launcher. Now, the issue is that this launch vehicle has not always been 100% successful for ISRO. That is why it is very crucial for ISRO to achieve success. This launch will be on behalf of OneWeb Communication Constellation. OneWeb is a telecommunication company backed by Airtel, which aims to provide internet connectivity across the country using satellites. So this launch vehicle is extremely important, not just for ISRO, but for private telecommunication players as well. Next, question number 2. Consider the following statements with regards to the gift city. Number 1. It consists of a multi-service special economic zone which houses India's first IFSC, that is International Financial Services Center, and an exclusive domestic tariff area. Second, it doesn't have any residential facilities. Third, the gift city also houses the Indian International Bullion Exchange, India's first international bullion exchange. Which of these given statements is or are correct? Now the correct answer here would be B. 1 and 3 are correct. The second statement is wrong. It would have residential facilities and in fact other public facilities as well, such as schools, hospitals and other public amenities which are required by people who need to live there. As you know, just a few months back, the Prime Minister had inaugurated IIBX, India International Bullion Exchange, in the gift city. So first and the third statements are correct. The reason why we are discussing this question is because the Union government has just notified that in order to encourage foreign universities to set up their campuses in India, now the rule is that the foreign universities who set up their campuses in Gujarat's gift city, if they make any profit, they are free to take back that profit to their parent campuses without any restrictions at all. As we discussed, the IFSCA, that is International Financial Services Authority, is a regulatory body of the gift city. Now, this comes at a time when the UGC is trying to attract as many foreign education institutions into India to launch their satellite campuses. Next, question number 3. With respect to India's ethanol blending program, the government has set a target of achieving dash ethanol blending in petrol by dash. So how many percentage and by what year? 15%, 20%, 25% and the years. The correct answer here is B. India plans to achieve 20% ethanol blending by 2025. This is what is called India's E20 ethanol blending program. As you know, the earlier deadline was 2030, which Government of India preponed to 2025. The reason why we are discussing this is because the Union Minister for Petroleum and Natural Gas, Mr. Hardeep Singh Puri, has said that 20% ethanol blending with petrol may be available from December or January. Now, you might say that since the target is 2025, how is it that the government is planning to introduce this in 2023 itself? That is because the 2025 target is for the entire country, and this is just the beginning. The beginning usually happens with major cities, metros, etc., and then it will be rolled out in other cities as well. The minister said that because of this program, the country will now need 1,000 crore litre capacity of ethanol as well. He said that we have already added 450 crore litres of ethanol in our capacity, and tenders for over 400 crore litres are now being issued by the government. As you know, the world leader in this kind of technology is Brazil, which also has flex fuel vehicles. Flex fuel vehicles means vehicles that can run on different proportion of ethanol blending along with petrol, which is the future that Indian government is also hoping to achieve. Next, question number 4. Consider the following statements with regards to electoral bonds in India. Number 1. They are valid for 15 days from the date of issue. Second, only the political parties registered under section 29A of the RPA 1951 and have secured not less than 1% votes polled in the last general election to the Lok Sabha or to Legislative Assembly are eligible to receive the electoral bonds. Third, the bonds are available for purchase by any citizen of India for a period of 10 days each in the months of Jan, April, July and October, and as may be specified by the RBI. Which of these given statements is or are correct? That's a tricky question mainly because of the facts that are hidden inside. Facts such as 15 days, 1%, this section of the RPA, general elections, Lok Sabha, 10 days, so on and so forth. Now the correct answer here is only two statements are correct. Why? Because if you look at the third statement, you will see that the last word here is RBI, which is actually wrong. It is the central government, the union government, that decides the dates on which the electoral bonds will be sold at the State Bank of India and not the RBI. The RBI does not have any relation with this electoral bond scheme. That is why the correct answer here will be B. Only two statements are correct, first and the second one, the third statement is wrong. The reason why we are discussing this question is, as you know, the question of electoral bonds is still not resolved. It is still in the Supreme Court, where the opposition parties are saying that this goes against the entire idea of transparent democracy, and it is against the interest of the opposition parties mainly, since the ruling government is the one that controls the State Bank of India, and they are the ones who get most of the money through the electoral bonds. Many people who are challenging this are saying that the free and fair election concept, which is central to our democracy, is being hurt because of this opaque funding process of electoral bonds. Next is a previous year question from 2018. The Rule of Law Index is released by which of the following? Amnesty International, International Court of Justice, the Office of UN Commissioner for Human Rights, or the World Justice Project? It's a difficult question to answer because this is not something that usually remains in the news. The correct answer here is D. It is a World Justice Project that releases the Rule of Law Index. Now, this is not something that we keep on hearing in the news. This was asked in 2018 because the topic was in the news back in 2018. That was the year that the Rule of Law Index 2017-18 report was published that talked about the different nations and how much do they adhere to their own laws. Now, this also underlines the fact that important news reports that are published throughout the world are actually very, very significant for the UPSC exam. For example, if you see in today's newspaper, there is a news about the Global Hunger Index, the topic that we have covered in the CNA video. Those kind of reports are extremely important for the UPSC examination. Next is the fact of the day, and today we want to discuss about the Sutlej Yamuna link canal, a topic that is extremely old but still unresolved and relevant. The reason why it is in the news is that the Haryana and the Punjab Chief Minister met to build a consensus on the Sutlej Yamuna canal, but it failed to reach any consensus. Now, in very simple terms, the idea of this project is that Punjab and Haryana will build a canal to link Sutlej and the Yamuna rivers so that the water can flow from Punjab to Haryana. As you can expect, the upper riparian state, that is Punjab, is refusing to do that. They are saying we don't want to give even one single drop of water because we don't have extra water. This is one of those issues on which almost every political party in Punjab agrees. It is not just government against the opposition, but no political party in Punjab wants to do that. Now, this is a very, very old project. In fact, this was conceived ever since Haryana came into being in 1966. Because as you know, Haryana came out of Punjab. So, as a new state coming out, they also needed water from their old state. Now, the idea was that this is the border between Punjab and Haryana. So, Haryana will build this part of the canal, which is already built, this 92 kilometer, while Punjab will build this part of the canal, as you see in the dotted line, which has still not been constructed. And this is why the government of Punjab is being convinced time and time again for many, many years to go ahead and build this project. As you can see here from this infographic, it was back in 1982 that Prime Minister Indira Gandhi had inaugurated the work on this canal. While the major portion was completed by 1990s, in Punjab it never took off. In fact, even the Supreme Court has come in between directing the Punjab government to continue the work, but this has still not happened because Punjab Assembly, as I said, all the political parties are against this idea. They don't want to give any water because they say we are a primarily agricultural state and we can't give even one single drop of water because our farmers are entirely dependent on this. This is it for today's daily quiz video. I hope you learned a lot of new things today. Thank you so much for watching.